Howdy, I'm Arno Krebs, and I have the honor to introduce the 2016 Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Gary Kubiak. Gary played and coached football at A&M. His 6 touchdown passes against Rice in 1981 was an A&M record for about 20 years. But what he considered his greatest achievement here was being awarded the Hart Award by his fellow teammates his senior year. As we know, the Hart Award is the highest honor that can be awarded to a football player by his teammates. And it's for the guys that leave it out on the field, either in practice or during the game. And Gary did that. He was a team player then, and he's a team player now. His 3-year A&M football roommate, Kelly Raper, speaks in glowing terms about Gary's positive attitude. He said Gary told him never to give up, always to work hard, to do his best, and to be positive and to try to get his degree, which Kelly did, obviously, and he's been very successful. Gary used that same positive attitude during his career. His first 2 years at A&M were not what he would have liked them to be. They weren't as successful, but his last 2 years was successful, and he then was drafted in the 8th round by the Denver Broncos in 1983. The good and the bad of that was that a fellow rookie was John Elway, and as Gary said, John Elway's passes looked like a bullet and Gary's floated like a beach ball. Yet Gary was able to make the team, and he was a successful Denver Bronco for 9 years. He used that as a stepping stone for a successful football career, which culminated in his being the Super Bowl coach this last spring, or last February. Gary coached at A&M for 2 years after he left Denver, so I called RC to get his thoughts about Gary, because RC was the head coach at the time. He described Gary in 2 words: mature and steady. He said Gary was mature beyond his years from the minute he stepped on campus here as a freshman. He did the same when he came back in 1992 as an assistant coach. That was his first job after he left the Broncos. RC said Gary was always planning for the future, so he was a very positive comment about Gary. Gary is a classic of what you see is what you get. He's a self-made, humble, honest, sincere individual with the highest level of integrity. Gary's reason for coaching is his passion in facilitating success in others. He has an ability to recognize talent and ability in players that others cannot, and he works hard to try to enhance that talent and ability beyond the player's wildest dreams. He does the same thing with all his coaches. He really works with them to facilitate their improving and being able to move on to a bigger and better place. Simply put, Gary is in this business to help those he coaches and those he coaches with. Gary's also a very loyal Aggie, though in an understated way. Every time I talk to him, his first question, or second one, always is, how are things in Aggie land? And like last week or 2 ago, I'd sent him a text after another Denver win and says congrats, and the response was, thanks Arno, Aggies look great, good defense. So he's always thinking about the Aggies. He's very appreciative of the education he got here. He obviously took it and made a great success out of it, and he's an Aggie who gives back in a very quiet way. You never hear about anything he does give back to Texas A&M, but he does it in several ways, and we're all very proud that he's an Aggie. I want to close with a little story about Gary. In the spring of 1983, a mutual friend referred Gary to me to help him with his contract negotiations with the Denver Broncos. I'd never met Gary, and so we set up a meeting in my office on the 44th floor of a downtown Houston office building at our law firm. And he comes to the office, and my administrative assistant says, Arno, Gary's here. So I walked out into the hallway to meet him, and here he comes in blue jeans and rubber flip-flops. And we've laughed about that many times since, and he said I didn't know what I was doing or where I was going. Well, he has certainly figured that out. He has been an immense success in the world. He's a friend to many. He's respected by all, whether it's family, friends, players, coaches, and I'm honored that I can call him a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2016 Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Gary Kubiak.